Okay, hello and welcome back to the channel. Now, following on from the EastEnders and Coronation Street videos, which got a pretty good reception. I think there's a lot of love out there for these old Maygay M1AB machines from the £6 era. A couple of people commented you forgot about Noel's House Party, or my favourite was the Pink Panther or whatever. And it did occur to me that in a way, kind of all of these machines from this little cluster that Maygay released in the £6 era probably all deserve their own video. So that's what I'm going to do. It's not going to be like 30 or 40 minutes per machine. That might be pushing it a bit. But for me, these are some of the best AWPs ever made, and I think it would be doing a disservice to the history of fruit machines, as it were, if I didn't give all of them a little bit of attention. So I'm going to put a list up on the screen here, but basically the ones that I've got to run through here, these are all machines that we've got layouts for. We've got Cluedo, we've got Gladiators, we've got Inferno, we've got this one here which is Noel's House Party, we've got Pink Panther, we've got Return of the Pink Panther, we've got That's Life, we've got a Simpsons machine that was a kind of joint venture with BWB, which only ever seemed to exist on 5 and 10p play. I never saw a 20p version of it. Albert Square, which is mostly an EastEnders clone. The original Green Monopoly and Wild Zone, of course, already covered on the channel, have been Deluxe Monopoly and also Screenplay. Now, what you will note about all of these machines is that they're the very back end of the £4.80 era and then into the £6 era. I think that Maygay absolutely lost the plot going into the £8 era, from It's a Knockout and all those sort of trail machines like Instant Win and Rover's Return, which may have started off on a £6 jackpot, but they changed their profile completely. You got this horrible, rigid block system between cash wins and token wins. I've covered those on the channel, machines like Money, and Super Pots, which I know a lot of people made out like bandits on back in the day, but for me, I just got rinsed by those machines all day long. So of course they had these terrible block systems, players knew how to beat the blocks, and they would leave desperately dead machines in their wake. So I'm going to focus very tightly on this small time frame, that the very back end of the £4.80 era, and I think the first one there was Green Monopoly off on the right hand side, and then these native £6 jackpot machines. Noel's House Party was always a native £6 jackpot machine. I think it got an upgrade to £8, maybe even a tenner, I'm not entirely sure, but it started off like this. Now the layout that we got here harks back to December 2004. It is an M1A Madness layout released by Retrofruit, and this layout, it's 13 and a half years old, but it still looks great today. I've got it kind of maximised out on a 1440p screen here, and it does speak to the quality of the artwork and the quality of the lamping and all the details that Retrofruit did back in 2004, because it still looks fantastic today. Now, I have said before that my memory of these machines, it's a little bit bittersweet in a way, because when I was playing these machines for real, all of those years ago in the early 90s, I was at my absolutely most addicted. So even on really good machines, I had a terrible propensity to lose all my money, because I would just play anything that I came across, whatever state it was in. So I had no real self-control. Even when I could kind of tell, and I knew in myself, this machine is dead, it's not paying, walk away from it, I never would. I'd inevitably just play any machine that I came across. I would just keep lumping money into. And it is easy to understand how, if you're going to play them like that, even on 20p a go and these small, small stakes, small prizes, it's easy to understand how you're going to end up losing all your money most of the time if you play them like that, with absolutely no kind of discernment whatsoever as to whether or not you should carry on playing the machine that you've got in front of you. I mean, with Noel's house party in particular. If you did watch the EastEnders video, you will remember that I talked about how I had to force myself to walk out of the arcade in Piccadilly Gardens in Manchester to keep £20 on me to go on my date with Mrs Degsy, who I had recently started going out with. Well, I remember Noel's house party because that was around at the same time or a little bit later on. Either way, it was early doors in our relationship, and we were out in Manchester, just going round the central Manchester pubs for a few beers. And as ever, I was playing the machines like an arsehole. And I was doing that, you know, that weird thing like where you pretend you're not losing as much as you are. And I was doing that where I'm chatting and, you know, holding a conversation and trying to pretend that I'm not completely consumed by the machine. It's a terrible thing, addiction. It really is. I wouldn't fucking wish it on anyone. I really, really wouldn't. So Mrs Degsy, the future Mrs Degsy, was not particularly keeping track on what was going on. So even if I was losing quite badly, I would have to kind of pretend that I wasn't. And there were periods of the year where I would actually have a little bit of cash when I got my student grant or after I took my student loan out. Student loans back then I think were just over £1,000 for the year, so I would get little infusions of cash from time to time. So even if I was losing quite a lot, I could sort of pretend that I wasn't and still have money available to me. And I do remember losing about 20 quid on a Noel's house party on a pub in Manchester, and bemoaning the fact, oh, that's all the money I've got on me, I'm going to have to go back to the cash point and get some more. Didn't think I was going to spend that much, something like that. Oh, have you lost something? Well, I've lost a few quid, but you know, it's no biggie, I'll go to the cash point. So Mrs Degsy said, oh, well, I'll try a couple of pounds, I'll play, and let's see if we can win. And what she was doing, of course, was trying to get involved with what I was doing. She had no interest in playing fruit machines whatsoever. She'd never played them in her life until she met me, and she didn't really care for them, but it was kind of her way of, well, I'm in this new relationship, I'll show an interest in what my boyfriend is interested in. So she put like 2 or 3 quid in, and you know, I advised her to the best of my ability, and she hit one of the little mini streaks that these things can do, and she got like 15 quid, something, a £3 repeater that repeated a couple of times, a couple of other wins. I don't think there's any tokens. I've got it in my head that she basically took about 15 odd pound in cash out of the machine, and she's like, oh, lucky me, drinks are on me then, and she was dead cheerful about it. And for fuck's, I couldn't help thinking, bloody hell, she's won my money there. She's you know, like when you just watch another person who walks up to a machine after you've lost and they win and you can't get it out of your head that they've won your money back. I'm thinking this about my own girlfriend, and even though she's explicitly saying, oh, we don't need to go to the cash point now, I've got a few quid, I'll get the drinks for us, no biggie, and I'm having to then pretend that I'm not annoyed about it. It's just the most ridiculous thing. So this is why my memories of these machines, I cannot emphasize enough that on the one hand now, and looking back at them, you know, 24 years later, I can look back at them and appreciate what great AWPs they were. They really are perfect fruit machines. But I've got to try and separate that from the addict that I was at the time, and not let that colour my memories of them, even to the extent that I was having to pretend not to be grumpy with my own girlfriend because she'd won my money. And it's not even like she was going to say, well, that's my money now, I'm fucking off, I'll see you next week. It was like, okay, cool, drinks are on me. And even then I'm like, so daft stuff, it really is. But nonetheless, fucking hell, I've been rabbiting on for 10 minutes already. What we'll do is we'll put a tenner in and let's see where we get to with a tenner. Now, I've put my long-term stats on this. I think I've put about £2,000 through this over the years since this has been released, so it's really well settled down. It's probably about at percentage, so I'm not expecting it to do anything particularly amazing, but let's just see where we get up to. We've got a tenner in. Let's see what happens. I have deliberately got the emulator volume up a little bit high. I hope the balance is still alright on this, but the sound packages on these old Maygays is so sublime. It's absolutely superb. They were brilliant at the use of samples, so I want us to be able to hear the music. The nudge music in particular on this is absolutely awesome. If we can get nudges, I would just hold that again. No joy there. It's just all great samples from contemporary music at the time. Now well, I think if I get shuffle here, it just shuffles them into a winning line, doesn't it? So, okay, so, well, what can we do there? Doesn't really matter. Yeah, it'll just let you get as much as it wants you to get on, often on that one. Can you hear that brilliant little soundtrack? It's a track called Runaway. I can't remember the name of the band. This was another one, incidentally. You know, like EastEnders, where I thought on EastEnders, how I could just stand there and let the nudge music sample loop a few times. I could do that on Noel's House Party. Such a perfect little slice of pop music. So, because we only got a basic feature entry here with one line, Mr. Blobby is awake and out of bed straight out the gate. You can see the more lines that you start it with, he can be in bed or he can be completely on holiday, but he is chasing us now right from the off. If he lands on one of these little blobby busters, he'll go back by however much he was, or however much he ricked on that. Now grab a... oh dear. Is that going to land up? No, he's... okay, I should probably grab a grand there. It's only going to give me 80p and £1, so it's going to be okay probably. I'll collect that, because Mr. Blobby is right behind me. Now, if there is any skill or technique to this, I don't know what it is. As I always just hit it and you get what you're given. So I'm going to get a certain multiple of 80p and a quid, or 80p or a quid, and I'm going to get a repeat chance or not. Can I... let's just... oh, £1.60 plus repeat chance. That's not great. So we'd like a repeat on that. I do have the repeat chance, so... and that's is that Cotton Eye Joe, I think that track was. Okay, we have got a repeat. That's good, so that's fine. Let's I don't think there's... I'm not convinced there's any skill involved here, so I think you just kind of hit it and you get what you're given. That's not too bad. That's £3.20. Although rather annoyingly, that's just over the minimum win for tokens. So that's going to be £3.20 in tokens now. Obviously, it would have been £3 cash. We've got no repeat. But not a bad start there. Now, you don't particularly, as far as I'm aware, unless you've got these bloody symbols here on the win line, you don't have to hold them because it can hold the matrix. There's our 3 holds. So there we are. So we've got cherries. Is that dupe? Is that sample dupe there? I used to know what these tracks actually were back in the day, but it's many, many years ago. We'll have a gamble on that. I may not win this, though. Oh. Now, I don't think there's really any benefit here in gambling more, because all that happens is you just go further up the trail, but all it'll do is give you a really shit number and give Mr. Blobby a really good number. So it doesn't seem to me that there's any point in risking gambling past that initial feature gamble. So really, he's got to get a 10 or an 11 here. Something. Oh no, okay. By the way, the one thing you really want to land on is this mystery guest. Mystery guest is, as far as I am aware, the only way that you can get a super jackpot. Can you see the key thing there? When you land on mystery guest, is it Tony Blackburn? There we are. You can get super jackpot off that, but it's quite rare to land on that. Now, we're not in a great spot here. He could get me. Now, this can bin you off, so the gunge tank here could bin me off with £1.60. That would be rather annoying. We've survived. Okay, so I'm not going to collect grab a grand again, simply because we've already had it. We know exactly what that is. Let's... oh, that now... so he's going to hit the Blobby Buster, but now the... obviously what we want to avoid here is gotcha. So he's going to put some nudges into the nudge pot. This is dangerous territory here, though, because I can have Mr. Blobby. Oh, don't catch me! We will collect Frank's cash cracker. Frank Carson there, who I believe is dearly departed now, but we will collect Frank's cash cracker. Just kind of a win series, basically. Another great sample. So yeah, we step up and down, and Mr. Carson will decide whether or not we're going to carry on. So there's 260. Oh, I should have looked at those. Oh, there. Oh, come on, carry on, carry on. That would be fantastic. Carry on. Oh, come on. Oh, it's going to give us... oh, no. Oh, and that's the whole thing. I should have probably looked at the reels there, because I may have gone the other way. Because that's one of those, it's a little bit like a fruit stall in a way, in that it can go on quite a bit. I mean, I've already won. I'm already in profit here.
Shuffle.
Oh, that's the worst. You know, when you've got two symbols and you get shuffle, so it can't possibly give you a win line. That's slightly annoying. I mean, the thing with these Maygays is they're all kind of that whole list of machines that I gave you before. They are pretty much of a muchness in a way, in that I think they've all got, one way or another, they've got pretty similar... oh dear, Mr. Blobby looking challenging there. They've got pretty similar profiles. They have like a £30 streak in them. They've got like a mini streak, that kind of £15-ish mini streak in them. They can be quite nasty if you catch them in a bad mood. But generally speaking, they are okay to play. Now, I remember, can't we get £3 off this?
It's time to go crunching.
I think it's 213. It's 2-1. I think 213 is double bars. Yes, there we are. Splendid. And do we get the... I don't... Yes, we do get the repeat chance, of course. We do get the repeat chance. Oh, there we are. Nice repeat. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, we'll have another go.
Oh,
No. And this is kind of, by the way, this is kind of what happened to Mrs Degsy. She just put a few quid in and ended up with a bank like this, like 16 quid, something like this. And I was kind of biting my lip, which is a preposterous situation to be in. Because inside I'm grumpy that she's won my money back, when realistically she's saying, oh, that's great, I'll get the drinks, don't worry about it, you don't even need to go to the cash point. It's the most bizarre thing. So it's, even though I love these machines, I've got really, really clear memories of things like that. But I think so far after the fact now, I can kind of just put it out my head, enjoy the machines in the emulator. If I ever found my way to somewhere like Mr. P's Arcade or something like that, where they've actually got these things available to play, I would most certainly, very, very happily, you know, go to an arcade that was filled with these old, you know, £4, £6, £8, £10 fruit machines. And it wouldn't even bother me if I lost 40 or 50 quid over the course of a day, something like that. I could genuinely just play them for entertainment, even if I lost. I guess the problem is if you don't have much money, then you don't need to lose much money for it to be quite a significant loss to you. And if, as I did, if you will just play these things... I think I should still get the feature there, shouldn't I? Because I've got the line? Yeah. I think the problem is, if you will just carry on playing until you've effectively got no money left, and because you will just play all the time, that even the kindest machines are basically going to rinse you. I mean, I'd love to land on Mystery Guest here, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. It's quite a rare land, the Mystery Guest, because it's almost like a sort of jackpot lander. I haven't had a gotcha yet. I think it's probably in the post. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a gotcha. Yeah, there we are. It was... yeah, I could kind of feel that one coming. The only thing that's always slightly... they use exactly the same sound effect for the matrix holding that they had on Gladiators. Now, on Gladiators, it made sense because it was the actual Gladiator shield, so you've got that kind of, you know, sword on armour kind of noise going on, where it never quite fit in on Noel's house party. And on the subject of Noel, can we see here a younger Noel there, long before Deal or No Deal was a thing, and when Saturday Night Telly was a bloke in a big kind of polystyrene pink suit called Mr. Blobby. That was, you know, if you are younger than me, if you're maybe in your 20s, honestly, this was what passed for Saturday Night Telly. Just have a look on YouTube for some old footage of Noel's house party and try and get your head around the fact that millions of people used to tune in and watch this stuff every week. This was actually a pretty big license for Maygay to get the... I don't know what they paid for the Noel's house party license, but I bet it must have cost them a few quid. I don't want to get gunged here, that would be really annoying.
Lucky escape.
There we are. Oh dear, that was a pretty impressive move by Mr. Blobby there. He might... No, he's got me. That's a shame. I mean, we've kind of had the features here. I mean, step to nearest win is self-explanatory. Noel's TV is just the nudge pot. We've had Number Cruncher. We've had Frank's Cash Cracker. If you get to the end, the slightly annoying thing is if you get to the end, it's just a jackpot. And that's it. The only way to get a super jackpot, i.e. a repeating jackpot, is off the mystery guest. But you're doing, if I'm honest, you are actually doing pretty well to land on mystery guest. The Gunge Tank isn't a straight loss. It will at least give you a win. And if it's high enough, it is possible to get the £3 plus repeat chance off this. So it's kind of, I would say it's about on par with the other Maygay machines of this era. There isn't a huge amount going on. And as far as I'm aware, at least, there wasn't any kind of real player skill going on either. Don't gunge me. There we are. But they're enjoyable machines to play. They give you a decent game. They've got a great sample package. Come on. So I would hold them up. Oh, I thought I was going to land a mystery guess there. I would hold them up as really great AWPs. Oh, so well, come on, you must be fairly. Oh dear. Oh no, that was rather silly, wasn't it? I mean, I wouldn't have done that in real life. I would have just collected the £4. It would be nice to get to the end of the trail because you do get quite a nice jackpot display if you can land on it. So I can definitely get the feature there, of course. That's the only way to get the nudges, by the way, is off the bonus. There's no actual native nudges, as it were. So I can nudge that in there to get onto the feature. Let's kick off. It would be nice as well if I can get one of the starts where Mr. Blobby... Well, to be honest with you, the start... Oh, fuck off, Mr. Blobby. The start where Mr. Blobby is in bed isn't that good because he tends to do like a couple of 10s or 11s or 12s to catch up with you. The one where he's on holiday... Let's get super optimistic and hold the 7s. The one where he's off on holiday is better, but it can still mug you off with the crinkly bottom observer, or the Gunge Tank can gunge you as well. In fact, it does love doing that with Mr. Blobby's on holiday. Make no mistake, it can still kill you off, and it can you see there up at the top, it has got just the straight game. Oh, you'll get one here. Yeah, it'll get it. So it does have a straight game over or gotcha square at the end there. So we do now have a repeat, which is good. Oh,
Let's look in the crinkly bottom of
not a gotcha. So that's fine. So I can now... Mr. Blobby can catch me and I will get to carry on. Oh, bad luck, Mr. Blobby. It's not going so well for Mr. Blobby, but what it can do, it's more than happy to give you a couple of really shit ricks. I like this, and Mr. Blobby all of a sudden will pull a couple of 12s out of his big pink arse. That's going to be a gotcha, isn't it? Oh, no, that's fine. Okay. I had a bad feeling about that. I do have my Blobby... Oh, God, it's landing on all of these, isn't it?
Let's look in the crinkly bottom observer.
Oh. So that's actually going up to gotcha there. I can't hit it on. I'll play safe here. There we are. I didn't want to risk it.
Gotcha.
Oh, no. Oh, that's all the way back to the start. Oh, he was not letting me have a jackpot on that board there, was it? Okay, so we'll go for the rerun. Oh, no! But I think that was rather harsh. An uncalled for intrusion there by Mr. Blobby. Get there, but as you can see, I mean, by the way, this Retrofruit always used to set his layouts to like 84%, something like that, so it's going to be a little bit more generous than it was in the pub, but you can see here how kind of involving these games are. You're never that far away from a win. You're never that far away from a feature. And because the jackpot's so small, you've got a £6 token jackpot, you've got a £3 repeating cash jackpot, you're never really that far away from a little bit of player engagement and something reasonable occurring. I am going to carry on here. Oh, Frank's Cash Cracker again. Well, let's push on for the end because we haven't had the jackpot. I would always collect Frank's Cash Cracker, but we'll push on for the jackpot. Fuck! Now then, well, Noel's party time I was always really bad at. I thought I pressed the wrong button. There we are. Right, now I got... Oh, okay, right, what's... Oh, shit, I'm going to fuck this up, aren't I? Okay, I think I've got it. Oh, there we are. And I'll get a bonus as well. Okay, so what can I do here? Let's do that and that. So that should get... Mr. Blobby should now be... I think he'll be on holiday. Yes, there we are. We've got Mr. Blobby on holiday. But you'll see now, so I will not get chased at all now by Mr. Blobby. He will not come after me. But it can have me. It can have me off this if it wants to. I'll be really fucking annoyed if it does. Okay, and it can still, of course, the crinkly bottom observer can still kill me, and the gotcha square at the end can. So I've got to avoid all of those. Oh bollocks! Come on. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, so we'll carry on. Obviously, you're going to go for it when you've got no Mr. Blobby chase. Not a 4. You know, again, the thing is, Frank's Cash Cracker can repeat and it can go on, whereas the jackpot at the end is just a straight jackpot. But I'm going to go for it. We really don't want a 3. I would very much like a 4. Come on.
Gotcha.
You Noel, you know, he's as much as a twat on fruit machines in 1993 as he is in the 2000s on the Deal or No Deal machines. He has not changed his persona one little bit. He was an arsehole then, and he's an arsehole now. There's just absolutely no need for that, Noel, at all. So, it doesn't necessarily put you straight back in either. As you can see here, it can take you a little while to get back in on the feature. I've had 2 cracks now, 2 collect opportunities on Frank's Cash Cracker. Oh dear. Well, we don't like that very much, do we? Okay, fine. We'll plug on. What I'll do here is I'm going to just carry on playing until I get either the jackpot at the end, because it's a reasonable jackpot sequence, albeit the music's not very good. It's very much a crinkly bottom kind of music. Or if I can get the mystery guess. I'd really like to get the mystery guess, but it is, I've got to be honest with you, it's quite a rare occurrence. Oh dear, we've been gunged. So that's just a collect prize, basically. A little bit like your escape square on Indiana Jones. So he has binned me off with a quid there. I am starting to lose a little bit now, but at the same time, I'm not playing it particularly well. I have made decisions here that I would not have made on the real machine. Certainly the Frank's Cash Cracker there, I would have always collected that. Let's see where we get up to.
It's the gunge tank. Lucky escape.
There we are. You can go through bad runs on the gunge tank. Oh, God almighty. Blobby is on a rampage. I don't know what he's after, but it's probably not very nice.
Respin.
Well, we'll obviously collect that. We've got nothing to lose by going for a respin. Another bonus. Well, it can be a dick about this, or it can give you a feature. So obviously we're going to hold the bonus there on Reel 3. So that's going to guarantee us another bonus. Oh, now. Oh, God. This is where you could actually potentially get quite clever with it, isn't it? Okay, so I need to stop it on. Right, I've got it. Okay, I think I've got it. Oh, there we are. Yeah, there we are. That should be a Mr. Blobby on holiday start. Right, go on. Gotta be jackpot this time. Jackpot or mystery guest. Oh, God. Don't you dare. Oh, no, you intolerable arsehole. And I was feeling quite pleased with myself there, because I managed to... You can see exactly what I'm getting out there. It doesn't really count for... If you don't have Mr. Blobby chasing you, it will bin you. It will fuck you off if it wants to. So Nudgepot is looking good here. If we can land on bloody Nudgepot without this pink arsehole catching me. Right, come on then. Oh dear, come on. So Mr. Blobby's not doing very well there. He's having a... Oh, gunge tank. Okay, come on. Okay, come on, come on. Just land on the fucking Nudgepot, will you? Come on, come on, come on. Oh, where's that going? Yay! There we are. I'd be the first to admit it's not the best sample in the world. But nonetheless, we have finally achieved the jackpot there. I mean, we'll just give it another £1. I've not done too bad. I'll just give it one more feature. The mystery guest, you can go a long, long time without seeing the mystery. Oh, is that... There we are. So just one... Oh, he's going to just have me here, isn't he? One nudge for the jackpot. Come on, just land on the fucking... Oh, that'll do, that'll do. There we are. Gotta be it, hasn't it? Yes, of course. That's another jackpot. Wait, there we go. Fantastic. Back-to-back jackpots. That's great. And with that, I was kind of a little bit into negative territory then, but that will be okay. I mean, we'll see. Shall we get... Because we haven't had the £3... That's the other thing we haven't had yet. No, we have had the £3 repeat. I'm being daft. We got it off Number Crunch, didn't we? I will just see it out to one more feature.
Shuffle.
Oh, that's bad. It could be... Oh, no, now that's not... I always had it in my head that that was a fairly good sign. If it... Well, it absolutely doesn't have to give you a feature off the shuffle, which it didn't do there. There's a million ways it... Oh, dear. Shall we... Oh, shall we grab a grand? Just to maximise... Go on, we'll collect it just to maximise profit. Well, Well, okay, you know what? Oh, no. I was just kind of thinking, well, minimise losses rather than maximise profits. A rather disappointing £1.20 there. I'm kind of tempted to see now if I can just get back to evens. I'm not far off. Well, I can see my stats up there. I'm £3 down. I'm 34 quid in. 31 quid. Let's just see if we can get another feature fairly quickly. This is the other problem, though. It can, when it really doesn't want to give you a feature, it can go 5 or 6 quid quite easily without a feature that will not really off. Oh, hang on. So I can definitely get... So it's going to be... Okay. There we are. So that's a Mr. Blobby on holiday start, which we haven't had yet. But I think you're probably going to see there.
Let's look in the
Oh dear. You're probably going to... Oh dear. Yeah, you are probably going to see here that it doesn't count for much. Because I'm going to get to about here-ish. From memory, I'm going to get to about here. Mr. Blobby's going to wake up, and then he's going to roll a 12, or an 11 or a 12. Right, here we go. I'm predicting he's going to get 11 or a 12.
Watch out. Blobby's about.
Or 10. And this can gotcha me. Okay, no. So you are actually safe on the crinkly bottom observer squares, but of course I've got to rick now. I would collect number crunch if I land on it, because that's £3 plus repeat. We'll have that, because that's £3 plus repeat. Okay, that's fine. I believe that's the best prize you can get off that, which is the £3 plus repeat chance. I'll just put a token in here for the repeat chance. Oh, there we are. Oh! Oh no! I did something it didn't like. I've alarmed it. How have I... Oh no, I've alarmed it. What have I done to alarm it? Oh dear. Let's have a look. Has it remembered me 3 quid? Oh no, I've bust it. What have I done to... I've completely broken it. I've broken Noel. I am sorry, Noel. I didn't mean to do that. Well, I have proper fucked that. It won't do anything now. I just about had my money back, didn't I? I'm going to have to get my GAM and RAM files this from my last Fruit Machine emulation backup, because I have broken the machine. It really didn't like me. For some reason, it did not like me putting a token in. I got the repeat chance, and you saw it's just now gone into some horrible error state. So there's my GAM and RAM file, which I've just pulled out from my Fruit Machine emulation backup. I do keep backups of all my important stuff, several backups in fact, and Fruit Machine emulation most definitely falls into the important category. Slightly surprised to see that I haven't played this machine since March 2016. So they're goosed now. I think they're going to have to go. So we'll get rid of them, and then we'll just put these in there. And then we should be able to fire it up, and that should fix it. Yep, so there we go. It's working again now. I've basically rewound this thing to March 2016. So this machine has effectively gone back to the start of the session that I just recorded. So it is working again. I've just lost that session. So I'm not going to do anything else with it now. I think we did just see on the meters that I had basically got all of my money back. I think I was £36 in and £36 out. So not a bad session. I didn't win, but I certainly didn't lose. And having said I wasn't going to do a full video on this, I have somehow gone on for well over 35 minutes. I don't quite know how that's happened. Well, no, hang on a minute. I know exactly how that's happened. It's because these machines are just so bloody good. They are playable. I can just get into them. I don't know if that comes across on the video or not, but once I start playing these things, I can just find myself consumed by them to the extent that I really just want to play them. It doesn't become a duty, you know, kind of like, I've got to get the video done, I've got to talk about this. It's just like, wow, this is enjoyable to play, this is fun. I want to see what happens, you know. So these are really, really fantastic machines. I think I've said this before, do not get blinded by the fact that there's been so many releases of new machines in the emulator, a lot of £70 machines in particular, but for me the whole AWP market was fucked from £35 jackpots onwards. 25 quid was borderline. There was a lot of great machines at £15 and earlier, but for me the absolute golden era of the AWP is the £4, £86 jackpot era. I've got more of these to come. I'm afraid I've only knocked one off the list. I've only got Noel's house party done in this video, but I am going to work through that list that I read out at the start of this video, and I can't promise that they're not all going to go on for as long as this one bloody well has, but if you stuck with me this far, then thank you very much. I do appreciate it, and indeed thank you for watching. I hope to see you again next time, but for now I will say goodbye.